All right, good Monday morning. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for joining me for another morning cup of coffee. We do this almost each and every morning. Monday morning, we missed a couple of weeks. Apologies for that. A couple weeks ago was on account of technical difficulties, and then last week just had things to do. So, we are here today in the United States. It is Memorial Day, the day we honor those who have fought for our freedoms in the line of duty. Or so, it's a day of remembrance, and that's what we do here. Got up this morning, had my first cup of coffee. Went out and joined my VFW at a local cemetery where we paid our respects with our annual Memorial Day program. I wasn't anticipating being the speaker and um, playing the role of commander, as I'm not the commander this year, but that's what we did. So, yeah, got some goodies into over the last couple of days from my good friends at Dragon Tail Tenkara. Um, some of which we're going to be tying with tonight or this morning, and it is alpaca. We got some alpaca dubbing too. So UV purple, mulberry, pebble, hare's ear sub, UV carp, peacock, scarlet hess, cloud, tups sub, and then we've got earth, mist, turmeric, black, grass, plum, mustard, and rock. Imagination is going to be our only limitation with this little variety. What else? We got somewhere to draw the line. You have to draw the line somewhere. And I got a spool of some, what is this, some ultracite level line. Looks like it's a 2 millimeter point. Oh, point zero 0.241 millimeters. Um, nice 150 millimeter spool of that. It's a lifetime supply if I play my cards right. And then we also picked up, what do we got here? Um, Natural Spirits Nissan Pals 3.3 meter furled. It's a furled line. Nice. I like these high vis, bright orange lines. Easy to see. And then we got two. Let's see. This is a moonlit bushy. Bushi. It's 11 foot. General purpose Tenkara line works great for wet flies and dries. I got an 11 footer, and then I got a powered taper wind cutting Tenkara line. Nodochi. So we got one, two, three, four new lines. The ones I've had in the past, they're working okay, but if you fish anything like I do, you end up with some wind knots, some overhand knots, and if you don't catch them right away, they can set, and we don't want our lines to have knots right in the middle of them. Anywho, so let's jump right in, spin my little self around, and get to it. Good morning, Steve. See you in the chat. Who else do we got? We got five of us. Say hi in the chat. Good Monday morning. All right, let there be light. There we go. All right, so I decided, it's like most Monday mornings, we come out here with no major agenda except experimentation and having fun with our toys and tools. So hook, I'm fishing out a size 10 nymph hook. Here we go. And it is a Moonlit barbless, R7 barbless. There we go, an N710. Figured, if we're just going to be experimenting, we might as well experiment on a bigger hook. Let's start with our olive thread. I'm using the Vivus 10 olive, like that color. Love that color. So I got out onto the Mississippi the last couple of days. Not tenkara fishing. I was throwing my 8-weight, chucking poppers for aggressive bass. And 2 nights ago, I just had a wonderful night. We had a cloudy, overcast, crummy kind of day, and I waited till the end of the day to get out. And it worked out. I got I don't know, I'd say 6 big ass bass, some medium sized ones, and a small pike. A little pocket pike, a little pocket hammer. Alright, so we got our head built up front. A nice little shapely profile. Oh, and this is another thing I wanted to play with today. I have a full, well, most of the bird, wings and most of the hide. I think this is a Lady Amherst, I believe, with these beautiful little feathers. So we're going to mess around with these, see what we can come up with. I'll try one of these. And we'll just take ourselves right about there. Strip the fuzz. I like the multicolor. I like the color on this feather here. This is why we're going with the size 10, a little bit oversized. We're going to make it work. Because as you know, imagination is our only limitation. Tie that on top side up, green side out. We'll do our hackle up front. Going for a nice big hackle on a big hook. It's, you get away with using this kind of big feather. You just got to keep everything proportionate. It's one of the only rules that I really am kind of a stickler about. You just want to keep things proportionate and relative to the size of the hook you're tying on. And this is a big old bad mamma jamma. I think that's going to work out just fine. Alright, let's do... Where'd that dubbing go? Alright, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our thread, we're going to tie... Oh, we're going to go all the way to the back. We're going to do a little red bump on the butt. little dab of wax. And I'm going to start with the plum. That's going to be my back end. Yumi plum. Right on that olive thread. I think that's going to look fantastic. I think I might even go a little bit more. And on this last stretch, we'll do a nice little tight noodle. Alright, and at this point, let's go ahead. Normally I think maybe I'll do a wire, but I think I want to do a tinsel. Let's go with this. Oops. Knock that over. I'm going to use a French gold tinsel. I think it's going to look pretty hot. Alright, we'll get a little bit more dubbing. I'm just going to do a dubbing body. And I'm kind of leaning towards mist. I'll give that a try. We're going to be experimenting here with a little bit of all this, so individual results will vary. Avoid where prohibited. Not available in all stores. I really like it because it's pretty how do I want to describe this dubbing? Hooky, scraggly. I like it. It catches on itself quite easily. We'll make sure we get a nice even body. Maybe we'll kind of work our way up and back maybe. There we go. Another little dab. I'm going to do a little bit of peacock curl up front. I'll do a peacock curl collar. Alright, so with this French tinsel we're going to do a ribbing. I really like this dubbing. We're going to might step it down to a smaller hook. Go with a different hackle up front. Not fully committed yet. Alright, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 strands of peacock curl because I want this to be nice and bushy. Tips forward. Let's trim those tips off, but I don't want to trim my hackle. Take my time. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. All right, let's grab our grabber. Grab a grabber. What I like to do is grab this by the end there. Make sure I walk my thread forward a little bit. Give us room to lay this down. I like giving that a good little twist. Ooh la la, I like that. Alright, let's do a hoop finish. And there we go. That's a pretty fly. That is a pretty fly. That deserves a sip of coffee. What do you think, Steve? What do you guys think? I think that's pretty. Alright, well, let's tie another one. We'll set this one off to the side. I gotta put these. I got a fistful of tequilas I gotta find a home for. Which the fish were not hitting on the tequila. I was out fishing for the bass and they wanted topwater, but I was going out topwater time. It was definitely looking fishy. Alright, let's find our hooks again. There they are underneath the dubbing. Alright, this one let's do, I got an idea. We'll switch to a black thread. Same Vivus, same size, same 10-aught. So this will end up with a black head. This bobbin's just a little squeakier. Going for a slightly larger head. Let's pick a feather. these nice iridescent ones. Right on the neck. Look at that color. Get rid of all that fuzz. All right. Let's see how this works. Put this away. No sense of tying with half a dead bird in your lap. I think that's us right there. Any more would be too much. A little bit of red marabou along for the ride. All right. Now I've got some fluorescent chartreuse. If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. So I'm going to take a small two bits of that. So I got 2 strands. I'm just tying this to the rear. Set that off to the side because we just want those two bits of thread. We're going to just stick with a simple thread body. Not quite all the way back. Spin my thread counterclockwise, help flatten that out a little bit. Then we're just going to not go all the way back. Takes us a little bit with a 10-aught thread, but I think we got a decent little bit of a taper, very little bit. The cape I'm using is all natural. Alright. I'm going to take a twist or two here, the back end, and then use my grabber. I'm going to give this bad boy some twist. So 210 doubled up. Now we're twisting it. Secure that down nice and tight. And it's just thread, so trim that off. And black. But let's add a little touch of wax. How much dubbing do we need? Just a little dabble W. Because it's always good to see how it goes on before you go too bananas. A little bit more. And this will get us right to behind the hackle. Apologize for the squeak, we'll take care of that. Oh, we cut that a little short, or a little long. Here we go. Boy, that looks fishy. That looks fishy. I like the simplicity of it. I like keeping things simple. Let's try. Let's try something completely different. I got an idea. We'll see what happens. Let's see. That's a jig, caddis. All right, we'll go with this 14. Hang on, we're diving off the deep end here. Well, not too far deep, but we're going somewhere. And where we're going, who knows. Alright, so we stepped it down considerably from a 10 to a 14. And let's do this. Oh yeah, I wanted to address that real quick. Usually, if we look right here, you can see that's where the plastic is rubbing off of the brass. Just give that a clean. I got a little bit of oil and residual wax and junk on my fingers. We'll have to tighten this all back up. But I wanted to do that before the head, oh, it came off. So now we're not squeaking anymore. If you ever get a squeaky bobbin, just take the spool out and kind of wipe off the little brass components. You don't want to lubricate or anything like that necessarily, because then things will start slipping. Alright, let's pick a feather, any feather. Well, not any feather, but this nice little brown one. I think it should work. Obviously we're not going to use all of it. And just take a few turns right off the tip. And we'll give that a trim. It's a pretty color brown, I like it. Just gonna grab that with the old hackle pliers. Makes grabbing things oh so much easier. It's a case of you got the tool, you might as well use it, right? Alright, that's looking pretty swell. Let's go earth. I like this. Let's check out this earth color next. Earth, no. We're going to go with turmeric. And I'm guessing this is probably how it's pronounced in Japanese. So mist would be moyo, mayo. Grass would be kasra, yumi. I recognize yumi as plum. I've seen that before. So we're going to try this turmeric, this kind of hot orange. Get to flip my calendar over today. Last day of the month. It's kind of odd having Memorial Day being the last day of the month. Kind of throws off the Minnesota fishing opening season, quote unquote. Because it's like the week before or 2 weeks before Memorial Weekend. And frequently we also sell, usually it's also typically it would fall on Mother's Day weekend, but this was not the case this year. It's kind of like a delayed entry program. Alright, that looks good. Oh, burn. All right, well, we're gonna start over that again. I guess I'm just gonna see what happens here. That has never happened before today. It's happened before in my life. I'm sure it'll happen again, but we'll just lay another little layer of thread over the body. Boy, we sure biffed that one. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm going to do that again. Ouch. And just because it is what it is for this one, we're going to add a little dab of insurance policy with this. Mostly because it just came undone not once but twice. Here's my Mr. Bodkin. I got a little jar with steel wool, and I poked holes on top, and then we stick our bodkins in there. So I've got some poking around bodkins, but usually this is the one I typically grab for more often than not, just so I don't cross-contaminate. And it's always nice to have a kind of like a, we'll call it a wet bodkin and a dry bodkin. At least at a minimum, I think. Well, at a minimum, you should have one bodkin. One will do, but two allows you to have a wet and a dry. So if you get glue or goop or whatever, that one can kind of build up its crust. And then you'll always have a clean one to work with as well. So if you can afford it, get yourself two or a pick or something. Bodkins, I think, are probably one of the most easily homemade accessory that one could come up with. Let's zoom in a touch on that. What do you think? I like this one. Let's zoom in. Zoom, zoom. Open that window. Yeah, it's a little bit closer. Nice big oversized hackle. I recognize that, in most little applications that might not be the best, but I'm trying to trigger some larger fish, and I think I can get a little bit more aggressive uh, with the larger hackle. Because if I'm fishing this for panfish, which I'm typically going to be doing because I don't get out trout fishing that often, um, the the smaller hooks, if I'm out there throwing a 16 or an 18, beadhead nymph or whatever, I mean, the little bluegills and sunnies, panfish, they just inhale that fly. And I don't like open mouth surgery on fish, trying to fish the hook out. So, if I way prefer getting a nice clean catch right on the top of the mouth, right on the upper lip, or something like that. Good clean catches are, man, that's the way to go. How are we doing for time? We got about 20 minutes still. Coffee's still warm, so I'm gonna gulp a few gulps. All right, that's awfully tasty. We got a nice medium roast from the Kinder Coffee Labs. All right, let's do another one. I like that turmeric. I like the, let's do, let's do something with this earth brown. And I still got a whole nother box to play with. We haven't even tapped into this box. This is actually, you know what? Maybe we'll do something with this. This has got a little bit of ice dub or something blended into it. There's a little bit of, I don't know how much the camera picks it up, but you can see the shimmer just a little bit. Yeah, that would be in the UV purple and the UV carp peacock. Let's go with, where'd that come from? I don't know. Let's do another size 14. I know I'm a little all over the place this morning, but it's the way it is. It's live streaming, baby. Nothing here is pre-recorded. There will be epic fails in addition to the epic wins. And, you know, you really can't expect one without the expectations of getting hit up with the other. One way or the other. It all works out. Oh, let's pick a feather out of here. These are almost a little bit too big. Maybe we'll be able to do, you know what we could try. You know, this one just blew right off. It fell in my lap, and we're going to go with this one. Set you there for now. Oh, we need to get some thread on. We'll stick with the black thread. A little bit smaller of a hackle here, that's okay. Definitely going on to a smaller hook. You know, this is one of the processes that I think about, you know, incorporating technology and the future of things in life in general. You know, it's like training a robot or getting artificial intelligence to tie a fly. There's certain things that I think you just need so much sensory input. And it's not that we don't have things that can't sense calibrations and micrometers and junk like that, but boy, you get trying to find a robot to peel a feather back like that. I don't know, guys. That's going to be a stretch. And for that, I think that gives all the fly tyers in the world job security. But I'd hate to be a commercial fly tyer. I mean, it's just a lot of work. And that broke off. Pickles. Wonder, the world thought it was speaking to us through that feather, but not today. We'll pick another one out. I thought it wanted it because it jumped into my lap. let's go. Right here. We'll go with its friend. Very similar in size. A little bit of iridescence in that. I like that. Alright, you know why? Because I don't think we dinged our bell. If you don't ding your bell, it's not officially hackle time. Dang, broke it again. Alright, so that's telling me that the feathers from that portion of the bird, right up on the bottom of that wing, are kind of weak. You're weak, boy. I'll try this side. Maybe it won't be as rough. But then it could be. You never really know. Well, let's give this a try. We don't want to scare it. All right, last one. So one of the things I'm planning on doing is when I'm out paddling in my kayak, I'll have my Western fly rods and my eight weight. My plan is to go out with my 8 weight for the long cast, and then stay tight. I want to dabble with the panfish with my 10 car rods, because if I can get right on top of them, just be able to fish the beds. Because I'm not trying to fish too deep. I'm not a deep fisherman. Although the kayak does have the ability to mount a, what do you call it, a depth finder. Let's just stick with, we're going to go with just a dub body. I'm going to run this up and down, and then I'm going to cover it with a layer of thread. We're going to work our way down. All the way up here, and then we're just going to work our thread back nice and tight. tickle with the Velcro. I like that. That is a just add water kind of fly, if you ask me. Well, the problem with the depth finder is that's just one more thing for me to, it's added weight, and it gives me something to snag my line on. So it's, it's not like I'm trolling, so I don't know. I'm not one to cast, well, I mean, that's the thing, is just because I haven't done it doesn't mean I shouldn't be doing it, kind of thing. Um, I don't know. I think we're going to leave it at that for our flies that we're going to tie today, because we're down towards the end. So I think we're going to leave it at that. Well, Steve, it looks like it's just you and me. We're down to one. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, I guess, and don't feel like pressured, because just because you're the only viewer at times, if you don't make it, if you're not here, we will continue on, but you will be missed. Maybe I can turn the camera down a little bit. There we go. I like just having the last fly in the frame for the end. There. All right. Well, yeah. Memorial weekend, things are going to be getting back. Things are opening up. We're going to no longer be in the month of May. We're headed to June. That's a cool one. That's a cool one for June. By the time I get back here tomorrow, it will be June, so we'll get the calendar ready. So, have a good one. Thank you for watching. Please stay healthy out there. Please stay safe, everyone. Happy tying. Yeah, sure, you betcha. Tight lines. Peace.